catch a beating. Just tune in, you gon' have to see it. Stand up if you with us, if not to be seated. You seen them in every arena. Eddie and Nika, who really got something to fight for. Everybody saying they're the GOAT, who the one that slayed the Chupacabra. Your favorite girls.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. Back in the States, I kissed the ground like the Pope. I was so happy. Had a great trip, but I'm so happy to be home.
Safe. So yeah.
Yes, so happy to be
back. Because you were getting up at 3 in the morning to do the live, so that's why we did. We was like, no, last week we were just like, no, you could take a break.
Yeah, last week I had to just but thank y'all, and I appreciate, I love y'all. So yes, I was getting up, absolutely I was. So ladies, how are y'all doing this evening?
Doing good.
That's so good.
I put it on the.
Yeah, so let's give a shout out to After the Tere that did our wonderful video that she does like every week that we're on. She does great thumbnails, great videos. Shout out to her. And then of course Kush with a C, who does our intro, and props to him. I see him, he's starting to blow up a little bit more on Twitter, and he's got some new stuff coming out, so y'all better check him out. Texas guy, I'm representing Texas, but so shout out to him. But we've got a great guest on tonight. He's got some exciting news. But before we get to that, Crystal, what's been going on in the boxing world? Because I've been so out of the loop.
We have a lot happening recently, right? We just have the Virgil Ortiz this last weekend and the Leo knockout. Holy smokes, was that incredible.
God. I still feel that knockout for him.
Yeah. I have to go back. I missed everything. I just saw Twitter. I just took it on Twitter by Twitter people to tell me what was going on.
Well, I didn't even get to watch that whole fight because that fight was during the same time as Virgil, and
well, that's funny because I watched that fight rather than the Ortiz fight because I was expecting a little bit different of an outcome with the Ortiz fight. I could not believe that he get the win, but I have to go back and watch it as a judge rather than a fan.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and so Nika, what's been going on? I don't know why Siri's all on my phone. I like the globe. I'm like, Siri, bye. I don't need you. Bye. Oh, I don't need you, Siri. Nika, what's been going on? What's been going on in the boxing world? What have I missed?
I kind of been MIA off of social media as much as I was before, but I go on ever so often to see what's going on. But I do see, that was Emily. I do see, I think Bud finally dropped the 147.
The WBO?
The WBO. Okay, yeah. So then there should be some fights coming up for that vacant belt, I guess. That's a lot of.
Well, somebody had posted. I did see that somebody posted something about Boots has a fight or an announcement coming up.
Yeah, and I've been being nosy, trying to read in between the lines of people posting what they think they know, and from what I can gather up, I see people saying that Boots is supposed to be fighting Conor Ben. That's what I don't know. So.
That's kind of what I put together.
That's not official word, so we're not trying to be versed. It's just what I've seen people
saying
on the timeline. Yeah, so we're assuming. Yeah.
Will that be at 154 or 147?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So Nika, we got some comments in the chat.
Oh, I'm putting them on there. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like.
No, they've been on the. I've been doing every last one.
No, that's me with my blind.
Someone said Barlinga.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all so much.
See, I don't know this guy right here. This is might be your first time here, Yondo. But I don't know how much boxing knowledge you have. Or if you're just a troll, you have to be a troll. You have to be a fucking troll.
What did they say?
He said Berlanga
and 6. Oh, Yandu. Berlanga and 6.
Yandu,
okay.
No.
So is he saying Berlanga in 6 is going to get knocked out, or is he going to knock somebody out?
Yeah, we need to specify that because ain't no way. Young dude, no dude, okay?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, Bud is staying at 154. Yeah. So we didn't get to talk about the Bud fight because
we did not.
Oh, that's right, because we weren't on last week.
We were out last week. Oh no. Okay, so Daniel says actually Brian Norman will now be elevated to the WBO.
Yes.
Okay.
That is true.
So then, is Teofimo going to be fighting him for this? But because Teofimo's been barking at Crawford, wanting to fight Crawford. But hey, take care of some business at 147. Why are you skipping that, my guy? He be calling for fights that he know he's not gonna do. Like, get out of here.
It's all about this. The money, money, money.
Absolutely, all about that.
Oh, see, Nando says Boots got to fight someone with the pulse soon. I hope. See, I'm just
Conor Ben have an extra pulse occasionally.
Nando, yes, Nando, I'm with you, 100%.
No, I do not have a date, Yogi, but I need to be on a date. So you know what? I'm working on it.
Right.
Don't try and cook me. I trust in Berlanga. What is it in Berlanga? So I have some things that I want to sell you because if Berlanga can sell you to thinking that he's gonna be Canelo. Oh, are you Puerto Rican, Yandu? You have to be Puerto Rican. You have to be Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and Yandu, I'm sorry. Yandu, I have a cloud that I want to sell you too.
Yeah.
It could be. It can have your name on it. It can be whatever shape you want. I got it.
Oh, so Daniel says he's asking Nando why not Boots and Norman. That would be a good fight too. Like, yeah, that would be a good fight that can be made.
But I don't see Boots taking any heavy action with the next fight.
No,
I don't either. I don't think so.
But he's the guy. He's the guy. Why you can't take heavy fights?
Well,
I don't.
Sometimes it's better if I keep my mouth shut.
No, talk about it.
No.
Talk about it.
Don't keep your mouth shut. Don't keep your mouth shut. No, but there are some exciting things. Like, it's an exciting time right now, and it's like we had the anniversary of the fish fry, that just passed. Yes. And it's like we have so many things that are coming up, and I'm ready. Like, now I'm ready. I'm home. I'm ready to start going to some of these fights.
Speaking of that August 3rd card, who I think still the show with the uniform was Steven Nelson. Man, was that incredible or what? Yeah,
I see Lou in the background trying to get his phone together.
Okay. No, but you're right.
Let me wait till you get it all set up before
that was so awesome. That was so awesome, Crystal. But you know what? He always does that because he designs his own stuff.
He makes doesn't he make Bud's stuff too?
He designed Bud.
He did the fish.
He did make it.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
He does that for most of them, if not all of them. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna add.
He's very creative.
Okay.
All right, Lou, you're in here.
Hello. Good evening, Lou. How are you?
How you doing, ladies? How do I get you full screen? Is there a way?
You have to turn your camera sideways.
All right, and then
there you go.
Perfect.
Now hold on, it's not working.
No, it was there.
No, for you, but I'm not seeing you.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But you want to see that.
Hold on.
Turn your bifocals upside down.
Just join a studio guest. Wait a minute.
You just push it up. Push it up on the screen. It's right there.
Yeah.
This is how.
Okay, I got it now. Okay.
This is how I teach my mom to work some things on Facebook.
Perfect, Lou. Perfect. You're professional now.
All right, there you go.
Professional now. So we are so excited to have you on the show. We've been hearing some whispers and some rumors and some things, in the boxing world. So we wanted you to come on to kind of shed some light on some of the things we've been hearing. So
I'm guessing you want to emphasize women's boxing and women in the sport, right?
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely. Because Uncle Turkey is not seeming to do that, even though a lot of people think he's the hero of the world, the hour.
Well, I heard something today about a woman's fight potentially on the October 12th fight show. I heard something today about Sky Nicholson and Raven Chapman or something, possibly in Saudi Arabia. That's not Saudi. That's in the UK, right?
Yes.
But that's the Riyadh season card.
skipping around Tierra.
That's I'm sorry. I think that's a Riyadh season card, right? So there is a women's fight on that card, apparently.
Okay. All right. So I have a question about this tournament that we were hearing about.
Yeah, he needs to like totally explain the tournament. Like he needs to let people know exactly what it is.
Okay.
Because we know.
Here's the tournament. Okay. There are women that have storylines with each other that really should be televised. Like you should be able to do Mio and Sharafa again because they fought once before. You should be able to do Mio and Nina Hughes because of their history. You should be able to do a rematch of Trinica and Nina Hughes. There's a bunch of fights at that weight class at the top with champions and ex-champions. They should be makeable. Then there are women that have been waiting, like Metcalf's paid her dues. She's been sitting at number 1 for a long time. She deserves a big fight. Then you also have Jamie Mitchell was ordered as the mandatory by the WBA. Who's going to buy these fights? I don't know if you ladies have noticed, but very little is being televised in the way of women's boxing lately. And a lot of what's been televised lately have been star fighters in really one-sided, not very pleasing, not very meaningful fights, right? And you also, I wonder if you ladies ever ask yourself why Savannah Marshall and Claressa are part-time MMA fighters. You think it's because they really have a passion for it? Or maybe that boxing alone's not paying them what they deserve at the top of their game. And the other problem there is people complain. That was a horrible fight, the Shields fight. Horrible. The other girl could not fight at all, and I'm not insulting her. I respect anyone who gets into a ring, but she didn't have rudimentary skills. Like, it was a ridiculous mismatch that never should have been approved, honestly. Now, is it Claressa's fault? There are 4 girls at that weight, 5 girls fighting at that weight in the whole damn world at heavyweight. And why is there no talent pool? Maybe there's no talent pool because there's not a single female boxing series anywhere on the world on any form of television or streaming, right? But everyone wants to get out there and talk about like the explosion of women's boxing. And I mean, no. A couple of girls are getting rich. No one else is getting fucking anything. A couple of girls are getting rich. Handful of girls are getting rich. Most of the women can't even earn a living. And the average purses for women for title fights are going back down for champions. And champions are fighting for next to nothing. Just ask Dina Thorsley. And you could ask others. Ask, say what people will. A lot of haters of Ebony Bridges, but say what you will about Ebony Bridges. She's a smart lady and a good businesswoman.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, why is she going to go in the ring and ruin her brand, lose a fight potentially without getting paid? When people are putting her on specifically because she has 1 million followers or whatever the hell it is.
I'm not a big fan of her because she was trying to treat chicken Sharetta like she wasn't nobody, and she's like, "Hey, who are you? Get up out!" It's like, girl.
Yeah, but the reality is, I think that if you look at her own feed on Twitter and you listen to the interviews that Ebony's done lately, she's not going to undersell herself. She's not willing to fight for next to nothing.
That's true.
And part of the reason why Chicken and the other girls in the tournament are giving me some time to get this done and not busting my balls mercilessly is because I've said to all of them the truth. Ladies, no one's televising you right now. No one's bought the stream on this series yet. I don't have anybody individually looking for any of you to fight on their streaming service or network. Right. And as you said earlier, look, the man has a right to like what he likes. And when you spend the money, you buy what you want to buy. But I think it's pretty much no secret that, Turki Al-Sheikh doesn't love female boxing.
Right.
Or female combat sports. It's not his thing. By the way, he's entitled to feel that.
Entitled to that, yeah. But he self-inducted himself into the Hall of Fame of boxing. No.
Hold on a second. Give the man a little bit of credit. No, other people thought it was a good idea. He didn't self-induct himself. Boxing's a business full of fucking whores, and they will attach to whoever is writing the biggest check. Or whoever's got the most to offer. And by the way, give the man some credit for this. All right, he's a legit fan. He's not a casual. And for the most part, if he hadn't made the good fights that he's made in the last year or two, there wouldn't have been any good fights at a high level.
No, I agree. I mean, I wonder where what his motives are. But I cannot deny the fact that he has put on some tremendous fights. Like I can't
Look,
deny that.
ladies, like not everybody knows what Riyadh season is, but more people than I would think know what Riyadh season is. And I guess the guy's job was to get those words out there and make it seem like Saudi Arabia is a wonderful place to come visit and watch a big event. That's
Right.
what the guy's trying to do. Now you can question motives, but with all due respect, the whole world's doing business with Saudi Arabia.
That's true.
And boxing, people aren't doing business with Saudi Arabia. They're getting on their knees to perform sex acts for Saudi Arabia. Like
They're
almost
even
literally.
holding hands with him. They're even holding hands. I get
You know,
it.
look, there's stuff that's cultural, right? There's stuff that's cultural, and the holding hand thing over there is cultural. It's not about that, but it's about. I mean, right now, shamelessly, people are chasing this man around, begging for crumbs because he is the power in the sport. But let's face reality. Other people have reacted the same way every time someone's come into the sport with money. Look at what it happens continually. I'm not questioning anything. I actually look if I could get him to sponsor a tournament like this, even if he doesn't love boxing, I think he likes good product. I know he likes good fights.
I was going to ask you.
And if I could get a Riyadh seasons, even if they don't want to host it, maybe they only want to host the final or the semifinals. But if I could get a Riyadh season, I would make a really good case to him as to why it would be a good idea. And I think look, you don't have to do huge things to make it clear that you're open-minded to doing more things. And I get it. It's not the easiest thing on earth to put women in Saudi Arabia in a ring. It's not. I get that, and I guess look, he's doing a Riyadh season card in the UK, and there's going to be a women's fight on the card. Okay, that's a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I've never met the man. I don't have a way of contacting him.
Yeah, because I was going to approach him with this tournament.
No, I have reached out through people that do business with him and basically made it clear that I'd love to talk about it at some point. But I'm not reliant on that because look, I got to be honest with you right now. That's, I think, sponsorship by Riyadh season. Now, by the way, not underwriting the whole tournament. Sponsorship. The one thing, the women in this tournament they're not part of the wave of people that have been paid particularly well or spoiled.
Right, no.
And every woman in the tournament is being reasonable at this. And I know the minimum at which I could commit the women for, but I don't want to be sharing that with the world because I think they deserve to be treated fairly. And I have my own idea in my head of what fairly is, and fairly probably is 30% more than maybe they would take if they can't earn a living, like if they have no choice, right? Like, I don't believe that you should be a mandatory contender or number one or an ex-world champion and be fighting a televised fight for 15 grand. And forget about being a champion. And the truth is a bunch of champions worldwide right now, female champions, are fighting for 15 grand or less a fight. And there are more of them than there are, someone like, Claressa or Amanda. Claressa, but they're not the norm right now. I mean, if you think that the reason that Baumgartner has been inactive, she was never suspended. She's inactive because there was a problem, and she's also been inactive because there's not a lot of money out there offering women fair wage or better. Particularly if you think you're a star, if you're undisputed, if you've been used to getting paid a certain way, and you're expecting that to continue.
But should it serve no kind of suspension at all? Because I've been trying to keep up with that because Christina still hasn't.
Got nothing.
Oh, no, I said she didn't serve any kind of suspension at all because I've been.
But I mean, I guess the reality is right now it's more than a year since she's fought. So whether she technically had a suspension or someone imposed a year on her, she would have met it already, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's already been. That's why I saw that it's been a year.
Now that being said, the person that got fucked was
Christina.
Now, that's who got screwed here.
Absolutely.
I mean, there was nobody. She's basically in retirement in Greece.
Yeah.
So
Lou, let me ask you this. So for the people that don't know, okay, so you have this tournament in mind.
Yeah.
You know, so in a nutshell, you know, you're in front of Uncle Turkey. How do you say, you know what? Explain in a nutshell this tournament, how it works.
You know what? But here's the thing about talking to the man. I said this earlier. He's not a casual. Like whatever he thinks of women's boxing, whether he's a fan or not. And by the way, you have a right not to like a shitty women's fight, the same way you don't have a right not to like a shitty men's fight. Unfortunately, lately there've been too many shitty women's fights. That never had been the case until you had champion. Look, I don't blame it. If you're a big money girl and they're not offering you big money, you're going to take big risks. Bad business. Why shouldn't Claressa be as good a businessman as any male fighter? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if you're not going to, if she's going to take the risk on her own event, and TV's not paying her big buku buck to fight someone they want her to starve for, or to fight, right? Yeah. Then she's going to fight who's sort of.
Yeah, she still got to make a living. She got to make her money.
And you're going to be smart, right? And it's unfortunate because I see women's boxing right now in another down. I don't see
absolutely.
It's in a complete down situation,
and we see it. We see it.
There's not a single, like I said, not a single. How do you get out of an Olympic? Forget about the Olympics, right? Just in general, it used to be if I saw a girl, I thought she was great. Usually, also if I thought that there were intangibles. Same thing with a guy. Like it matters if you're a great talker. It matters if you're great looking. It matters if you punch hard. There are a lot of things that matter, whether you're a male or a woman as a fighter. But now, I mean, in fairness to the girl and myself, I don't even think about signing a 0-0 girl right now. I don't even think about it.
Yeah, and I don't think many are right now. It's kind of like it seems like because obviously
there are 10 other girls that could go into this tournament. There are 10 other girls that are begging to be in this tournament. And by the way, the funny part is, hold on. The most important thing, ladies, I haven't sold the tournament to anybody yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's why we want to know about it. We want to know about it. We want to put.
It's hard to figure out at the
what
zone.
Is your idea?
It's hard at the zone to figure out who even to talk to. And the one thing I know that Turkey, you mentioned Turkey. I said earlier, he's not a casual. He's a smart guy, right? Undisputed is undisputed. And by the way, some of these women have already fought and lost to each other. And by the way, the fights between these women so far have all been good fights.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. So, by the way, I mean, you want to talk about bang for the buck? This tournament's cheap as shit. And by the way, because of that, I contacted Gary Jonas.
You activated now.
Gary Jonas is spending some money on Pro Box, right? And there've been some really good men's fights there. Now they're not big money, but if he pays a little bit more than he's paying for the men's main events right now, it's a place at least to look at as an alternative for the early round fights of the tournament. Right,
yeah.
so I've reached out
a lot
to
of people
Gary.
have been tuning into the. I hear everybody they're always waiting for Pro Box fights to come on, so it's definitely making a buzz.
And so for those who this is the bantamweight tournament that he has a vision about a bantamweight tournament.
It's you have 8 women committed right now, and they're at the moment. Other people can make an argument, but all 8 women are committed, and they're really the top. There's certainly 8 of the top 10.
Yes,
and they're committed, and they have history with each other, and you have both mandatories that have been ordered in the tournament, and it's just easy to put together. And because they're all reasonable women that want to be seen and want an opportunity, none of them are outpricing themselves, and none of them are bullshitting and making believe they're larger than they are or have been. And what I mean by that is it doesn't help the women's boxing cause for people to flash shit that's not there. Or to make people believe that they're because right now, here's the reality. Most women in boxing are struggling. Forget about a young fighter.
It's
Where do you go? Who's the young women who are fighting right now and building records are doing it making nothing.
Yeah,
they're like,
facts.
Some of them are paying for their opponents.
Yes, that is so true.
Because a lot of these women fights are much more entertaining than these men's fights, and they're getting paid way less than these men. It's crazy.
It's very, very easy to match women at like 140 and under. And it gets more difficult when you go 140 and over to match women. There's less of a talent pool. It's almost impossible over 160. They're very,
Jamel Herring is in the chat, and he's asking, he's like, Lou, you gotta do the same at 122 for women's boxing, the tournament.
Here's the problem.
Can we start with this one right here? Can we get this one out first? I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's a big problem with women's boxing right now, and it's affecting. You know, this tournament should be an illustration of how much of a problem it is. When, yeah, the ceiling has gotten way higher. You can become a millionaire as using women's boxing, right? Like you can get to where you made 7 figures, and maybe even to where you put multiple 7 figures in the bank. Amanda's clearly gotten wealthy since she went with
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, but that was also a business arrangement that allowed that guy to establish himself in Puerto Rico and attach himself to one of the great fighters.
Absolutely.
And it also it was a mutually beneficial relationship. I'm not doubting.
Absolutely.
I'm not doubting it. It worked out for both of them. I mean,
yeah.
You know, but it's
Good
not
business.
really about women's boxing. It's about something else.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, there are not a lot of other women. Jake hasn't taken a lot of other women to the heights of fame, right?
Yeah.
And with respect to Jake, everyone on earth knows this. He was Amanda's fight with she made more money because Jake attached himself to it, but Amanda had already earned that Katie Taylor fight and was waiting for it.
For sure.
Right. So, but put that aside. I mean, Amanda's made money. Clarissa's made not as much as the greatest woman right now in the sport should be making, and the fact she's doing PFL. And by the way, she's a smart lady in terms of understanding a marketplace. Yeah, I think she's proud of everything she's accomplished, and she likes to flash what she has been able to attain. But she knows that even her ceiling is limited. But the ceiling's gone way, way, way up. Here's the problem: the floor hasn't gotten up.
Yeah, that's
The
it.
floor hasn't gone up. Most women are fighting for shit for free.
Absolutely.
And the floor hasn't even gone up for world champions. Like,
True.
I mean, it's back now to where world champions are lucky if they're getting 15, 20 grand.
Yeah, that's very true.
That
That's
doesn't
very
work.
true.
That doesn't work.
And you know, the tide is turning. And I will say that there was a time when, you know, after the Olympics, everybody immediately was going pro. You know, now the tide is turning, and these athletes are saying, you know what, I might stay another round. I might stay another 4 years. You know,
I don't know what I mean. If they're saying they might be saying that if they're getting their careers underwritten by amateur boxing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I'll be frank with you. I don't give a shit about amateur boxing anymore. I don't know how it works. I couldn't even tell you anymore. There was nobody in this Olympic class on any team worldwide that I said to myself, "Oh my God, I need that guy." Other than a guy, by the way, I had signed
you
years
didn't
ago.
watch it then. You didn't.
No,
watch it.
I. It's not that. It's not. No one's seeing that. I didn't watch it. Here's the problem. No one else did either. The only
They're watching
girl anyone's
breakdancing.
heard
What
of.
the fuck?
The only girl anyone's heard of is the girl that has a chromosomal issue.
Yeah.
I
we
didn't even
beat
see
her.
that fight because
We beat her before. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. No, you're right. It's a different time. It definitely is a different time for sure.
Look, I need a media partner. And the unfortunate part is it's not like an OWN or one of the women's networks is embracing female boxing.
I know.
Or female combat
we
sports.
gotta
Because
we gotta change
I
that.
could create a series for OWN. The stories of the women in boxing, you ladies know this, are incredible. And most of them are doing it out of love because it ain't for money. For most of them.
Absolutely not. They all
Right,
have
and they're
jobs
incredible.
or
I mean,
two jobs.
Chicken is a documentary, but so is Nina Yu. So is Mio. Mio is a celebrity in Japan for being a single mom. I mean, being a single mom and being out there in the public is so unusual in Japan that she's like a sort of iconic for that.
Yeah.
And,
You know, I mean,
and Chicken beat her in New York. We were there. We were there at the fight. We were there. So
Yeah,
that's,
and by
I would
the
love
way,
to
both
see
those
that
girls
mandatory
both
fight
those girls
in this tournament for sure.
both those girls made next to nothing that night, and that
That's
night
true.
actually Sharetta made more than Mio did, and they both made next to nothing. Right.
Yeah, well,
and by the way, I lost money doing the fight. So, the point I'm sort of making is like a lot of the women I'm working with right now, I'm working with because I believe they deserve better than they've gotten. And I do think I can help them only because I care about it. I ain't doing this shit for the money. I own 2 baseball teams. The fuck is this doing?
Yeah.
I'm not making money
I was
on
gonna
women's
ask you,
boxing.
do you prefer working with women or with men? Because I see that you do work with a lot of women, so I feel like maybe that you're more comfortable.
It's much better business, frankly, working with men because of the marketplace and the demand. I have more respect for the professional female fighter who's struggling to work 3 other jobs, but basically boxing is still her main job. I mean, you look at someone like Chicken, who's like got a bartending business, got another business, got like, works out people at is like a sort of, trainer at the gym and the hourly rate stuff, and is hustling every which way to support her family, right?
Yeah.
But still is like a full-time fighter, right? And all of these ladies have stories like this. I mean, Mio travels around the world. She's like a spokesperson for her hometown. So she goes back there constantly to Japan and whatever. She gets paid a big sponsorship money. She makes very little per fight. She's earned it. She went viral with her daughter in the ring when she beat Ebony.
Yeah,
that fight was seen by everybody.
She did. You know? She did.
And she hasn't been able to get a fight for money since. I mean, I'm not letting that girl get in the ring and take a giant risk for 15 grand. I'm not letting her fight for 15 grand.
Yeah, that makes sense. And as far as the tournament goes, Nika, I believe
I'm going to get it done. I believe it'll start no later than November.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's
happening no matter what. I have a plan B, but I don't believe in chasing plan Bs. It's not how I got where I am in my life, right?
Right.
So plan B is not something I'm going to discuss until people are starting to bitch about me, and I'm calling you guys later to explain to you what plan B is.
Right. But that would be, we're not. I don't want to hear about plan B.
No, I need, look, part of the reason why I'm doing this interview, but I hope that someone hears this interview and passes it along to someone. There's no excuse for this tournament not being picked up by some service. And I want to make a point, and this is to DAZN, who wants me to give them Broadway boxing for free, or I don't know how much they care about it. I gave them a couple at a low license fee. I thought the shows were really good. They didn't want to continue them. They said to me, Lou, we're not really paying for most of our boxing now, but if you want to give us stuff for free, we'll run it. And with all due respect, I don't work for free, and I don't give anything away for free.
Not charity.
Now I know that I could probably get this aired on DAZN, but should I sell a bunch of female title fights to DAZN for $0?
No, absolutely.
Well, I'm not gonna, ladies. So before I'm gonna do that, it'll be on YouTube or for free, or it'll be on, wherever.
Right.
I might, believe me, I'm not giving it away.
No.
Or nothing to people that spend hundreds of millions of dollars annually in boxing,
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
But I'm confident that I do have a plan. The fights will begin this year.
It's going to happen.
No, it's going to happen. And look, if it can happen different ways to conform to who your partners are, right? Because there are a couple of UK girls in the card. So there could be 2 fights in the UK as a doubleheader. Trinika's fight, very likely in the tournament, would take place in Australia. The champion Australian. She's been on very big shows in Australia, right? So, Trinika's fight could happen there. Thorsland's having a fight against like a nobody. I don't want to assault anybody, but against a nobody, keep busy fight in the next few weeks. And then she's getting married, and then she's ready to fight. Her fight in the tournament can be in Denmark, where she generates a crowd, right? So in other words, like if I have to look toward how I maximize every dollar, and I don't have a sponsor like Riyadh season, I don't have a television partner paying a license fee, then I have to be more creative about where I go with the event, how I do the sites, right? So, but I'm not willing. The time's not right to go to plan B yet, but it will be in a month. And I'm definitely going to start the series this year.
So
because there are also other women that are. I'm sorry, there are other women that aren't in the top, that aren't in this 8, that are also deserving of fights, and they shouldn't have to wait too long either. But the truth of the matter is, most men aren't fighting twice a year now, which is pathetic.
No, I know it is pathetic.
Women are lucky if they're fighting once a year. A lot of them right now.
Exactly.
It's crazy what's going on.
It is. So how did you pick the women that you want in this tournament? Did you have like a little notebook where you were just jotting down?
Well, I mean, you have there's 8 women. You can only have 8 women in a 4-fight starting with 4 fights. But you have all 4 belts, the Ring and the Ring Magazine belt,
Yeah,
and the IBO belt. And by the way, the IBO belt, which I've always thought that they were supportive of women, and I don't hate on them at all. And they've had some pretty good women holding their belts over the years. The IBO belt also brings Amanda Galley, who's my fighter and a good fighter, but also brings Canada into the tournament. So, and another title fight, right? IBO is recognized in a lot of countries around the world as a title. So every belt, including the IBO, the Ring, all of them are in the tournament. And then Jamie Mitchell's the #1 contender. To be honest, she probably wouldn't have been the first person I would have looked to. It probably would have been one of the Mexican girls. But Jamie Mitchell's the WBA mandatory. So she's ordered into the tournament. And Sharetta beat Mio already. And Sharetta's the mandatory of the IBF. So everybody, there's also 2 obligations with organizations built into the tournament. And every one of the 5 belts you can even think about are in the tournament.
That's nice. Okay.
And what's your timeline?
That's how we got those 8. That's how we got those 8.
Nice. What's
and
your
by
timeline?
the way, if I don't, you know this, you know what I'm about to say. If I don't get this done quick, some organization is going to jump in and they're going to say some other girl has to be in, and they're going to throw a wrench into this shit,
Let's
and then no one's going to buy anything, right? So
let's do this. Let's do this. That's why my next question is so important. Like, what is your timeline? Like, what are you looking at? When is this going to start?
I mean, the problem is the summer's not the best time to get streaming people and television people on the phone, right? And the other thing too is they're all trying to figure out where to put their male fighters, including like the streaming services. They're not really thinking about more female I mean, I hate to say it. Look, I've gone to press guys who are so sympathetic. But you know what they say to me? I don't give a shit, honestly, because my editor doesn't give a shit. And I don't give a shit because when I don't write about women's boxing, no one's complaining.
I believe it. We got to start complaining, people in the chat. We got to start complaining.
Well, there also has to be some person in the media side of this. What I mean by media being TV, streaming, other forms of distribution, that is actually like a champion of women's boxing. Like the WNBA, NBA's been able to use their leverage. No one's using boxing leverage for women. They're not. I mean, the men are barely fighting. They convinced male fighters that have a very short window of usefulness that it's okay to fight once a year. No, it's not. No one gives a fuck about you if you fight once a year.
You're right. You're right.
BoxRec Gray from BoxRec. I think he has a call. As soon as I brought up BoxRec, BoxRec, you've been starting a lot of trouble around here. As soon as I said your name, he got a phone call. Hey, I'm sorry.
And then Crystal, you're up next after this about the.
You guys just. I was you guys.
I don't know what happened there.
Telling you that
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Gray from BoxRec says he hopes you find a network for your tournament. You know Gray from BoxRec.
BoxRec.
I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear?
You can't hear us at all?
Oh no.
So you probably have to log out and log back in.
Okay.
Why can't I hear you?
Okay, log out and then come back in.
Log out and come back in.
Yeah.
Emily, can you text him?
Do the X.
Can you hear us?
And then come back.
Okay. So X out and then
you gotta be a bully when you ask him a question because he's a New Yorker. He's gonna talk his way.
Yeah, Krista, you're next up, girl. Ask your question. Ask your question.
It's like double dutch when you give a little bit.
Yeah, just get up in there.
Get in there.
Let's see if he come back now.
He said he just text him. Yeah, because you're up next, and then Nika's got her question. I got mine, and then you got and then
the other one was
your other one was about are the mandatories gonna fight each other?
Yeah, he already answered all the questions though. That's the thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
He ran through his whole thing.
Yeah, he really did.
He even speak about the venues,
so, like,
I
know.
In the UK.
This is one of the fighters, one of the champs in the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
That's
okay, but I do want to know. So the question that I had next was about the double elimination. Are we going to do that? He didn't talk about that. So I do want to know about that.
All right. It says he's here.
There won't be a double. It'll be a single elimination.
Okay, so not double elimination. Okay.
Now it'll be a single elimination, but if you have a great fight, you're gonna, you have at least it took place.
Yeah, we're trying to get them to fight at least once, like somebody pick it
no,
up
no.
and then you're talking about double elimination.
It's a single elimination, though. I think it's
okay.
A reasonable question.
No, that sounds good. We're gonna push this because we love boxing, but we're all about our women because we know, in everything that we do, whatever, it's especially this boxing stuff. It's tough. But I want to know.
It's still very hard to be a woman in boxing.
Absolutely.
The funny part, there are a lot of people trying to convince you otherwise, including too many women, right?
Facts.
And that's just the fact. I watch the shit and I say to myself, a lot of people aren't keeping it real. A lot of people are full of fucking shit.
Yeah, right? Support each other, bitches.
And by the way, that girl, Raging Babe, Michelle Rosado, that girl was very talented local promoter. That girl was talented. That girl could have gone somewhere, but you know what? It was fucking brutal for a woman to try to promote. It's brutal.
Absolutely.
And by the way, she's flipping houses and has a much better life now.
Yeah.
She still be dipping her toe in boxing on Twitter. I see her. She want to leave boxing alone, but she can't.
Well, no, she's got it in her blood, but I think that she probably made a pretty good life decision.
Yeah,
I guess the point that makes it difficult. It's difficult, sort of, on all levels, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, there are exceptions to the rule. I think that Christina Poncher is an exception. I think she's sensational when she does.
Beautiful, love her.
I think there are other women that are better than some of the women that get opportunities, and some of the women that get opportunities get it because they try to follow a sort of prototypical, hot woman who's gotten her stripes doing something else, put her in a boxing setting, right?
You're right.
I don't want to exaggerate, but I see it just as very difficult for women overall in the sport.
It is.
But the myth of the explosion of women's boxing and how much better it is for the average female fighter right now, I would say to you ladies, get more of the women on and they'll tell you the truth. And I'm not exaggerating anything. Everyone, you can go to any competitor in this business, including the ones that might hate me, and every one of them will tell you, Lou's not making a fucking dollar doing this shit. Yeah. So if I didn't believe in it, right, and I didn't think there was a bit of a cause here, why the fuck would I do it? I'm a pretty rational guy.
Right.
What are you going to call it?
Right?
Because I know they have Super 6. She call it the Great 8, since it's like 8 women, Great 8.
I like that. Nice. Let me tell you something. Whoever puts up the money and sponsors it, can call it whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
And by the way, they can I'm happy to work with you. They can hire you to do the naming for them and the branding.
All right, great.
Let's do it together.
I'm fine with a lot of names. If you give me some time, all I need is a day. I'll have you 10 names for that.
I got to be honest with you, ladies. I had a rough day today. Really stressful doing other stuff. As I said to you, I spent a lot of time working in baseball right now. I have a huge announcement coming in baseball. I'm going to be building a new stadium. And my team in Richmond, Virginia is going to be building a new stadium, and that's on the verge of being announced. So I got a lot of other stuff going on. But, I need to get the word out on this. I need to get some support.
No, we'll definitely.
I called, Emily, who I hired.
Yeah, that's my girl.
A little bit of PR stuff for me. A woman in boxing trying to help me a little bit.
Great 8. Great 8. She's great.
Right. So Emily got this, arranged this little talk. I thank you ladies for having me. But I'm sort of doing this because I need to beat a drum, right?
We're going to push it.
And I also need the girls in the tournament, the 8 women in the tournament that have, given me their oral commitment, their verbal commitment on this, that they're committed to this tournament, that they're in. I owe it to them that they see that I'm hustling this for them.
Yes, facts. You are.
Lou, what kind of money are you looking for this?
I don't want to tell you about it because it would be too embarrassing to say that publicly. I mean, I suffice it to say that you would be shocked at the numbers I believe the women will agree to if it's the best offer that's made, right? Everyone has an idea of what it's worth, and I think, honestly, it's not that hard to have an idea given the market, right? But I don't think a woman that's established and has been on TV before should defend the title in a televised unification tournament and not make $50,000 if you're a champion.
Agree.
A champion.
So when
I don't think a challenger should get 10 or 15. I don't think that's the right number, right? But I don't want to undercut anything. The amount of money that can be raised in sponsorship and for TV rights or streaming rights would determine the level of the purses. Now, you have fewer fights each round, and the fights, therefore, you could allot more money. Like you would hope that the girls fighting in the semifinals, the girls fighting in the finals have to make 6 figures each, no? And the girl that wins the tournament's got to make a little bit more than that, right?
Yes.
And if you're in the semifinals of a unification tournament and you're a champion that went into that tournament, should you make less than $75,000 in a semifinals? I mean, like I'm trying to keep this within a reason. Like I'm not going I'm going to do the right thing. If I have to lose money on the tournament, I'm going to make sure that no woman is insulted in this tournament, right? But I'm not going to sit there and say, give me nothing because I'll take it, right? Like the DAZN, we'll take your local card or your regional card or whatever, but we're not going to pay you for it. I think I'd be doing the wrong thing if I did that kind of deal with this tournament, right?
Absolutely.
So it's not something that I'm going to do.
You know what? We're gonna fucking push this shit. Everybody in the chat is. And trust me, you're gonna get other people wanting to interview you because this is gonna be hot. This is hot.
You know what? I swear, I so hope you're right. Obviously, I have a little bit of hope. I'm sitting here talking to you on Wednesday night. I so hope you're right. I'm not sure because it's interesting to me that something that's this simple. You have 8 of the best women in the world. None of them want to be paid other than appropriately, right? Nobody's looking for a big score here. Basically, you can make a statement about what you think of not only women's boxing, but women in sports at a very low sort of threshold of entry, right? I mean, I don't want to, the whole tournament that can be put together, the whole tournament on purses can be put together at $1 million. Yeah. And then you got to produce it on TV.
Easy. Yeah, and that's nothing.
But the point I'm making is it's not cost prohibitive. It's nothing. Like some person that can still walk down the street, male, but has a belt of some kind, is getting more than that for one fight.
Absolutely.
And this tournament has 8 women in it, a lot of single mothers in it, 5 belts in it, including Dean. And by the way, I don't know, if this isn't saleable,
it's very sellable.
If I can't sell this to somebody, honestly, I got to check out of women's boxing because nothing I'm doing is helping.
And you know what? We have to we have to bring these women to life too. We have to tell their stories. That's what we need to do. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna try to do that. We're gonna put it out there. Everybody in the chat, we have to make these women relatable. Because
there are women that have. I gotta be honest. There are women that have their own. Let me give you an illustration of something, right? I saw Nina Hughes because she was 40 years old. I thought she was very talented, and I liked her story. She was in boxing. She had fought for years. Then she had a family. Then she came back, won a belt, and then couldn't really get another fight.
Yeah.
And I like Chicken's story. That's why I'm working with these ladies. Chicken deserves to fight on a big stage, and get paid well. And then if she wins that fight, she deserves to get paid better. That's why this tournament works so well for her, right?
Yes.
The great eight. That's what you got to call it. And then in the promotion, one of the letters has to be maybe the A has to be a woman standing like this, I can help you with this. we gonna help you. We gonna push you.
Then you
I was looking to start it in October, which is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. When you have 8 women fighting on a card, everything you know that the women fighting all know people that have stories about breast cancer. So there's a lot of positive things you could do with this thing.
Very
and you know what? Let's go back to talking about Turkey Al Sheikh for a second, okay? He doesn't have to love it. I think he respects. I know he respects people again in the ring. I know that. I see how he interacts with fighters. He's way more impressed with fighters than he is with the business people kissing his ass. Right? That's very clear. And I'll say that the guy likes good fights, and there are a lot of good fights that can be made among women. You know, one step at a time. There's a woman on the Riyadh season card in England. Okay, maybe maybe he could be convinced to help sponsor this tournament, and the winner gets the Riyadh season, trophy or belt that he can design as along with every other belt that they're going to have, which is every one in boxing. And I know that he respects unifications to a degree. I know he may not be thrilled with the organizations, but the idea of one champion, anybody who loves boxing loves the idea of one champion or one person holding every single belt. It's the same thing, right?
Yep, so, that's true. That's very true. You know
ladies,
what?
I got to run because
thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you so much.
I'll be happy to come back. I'll be happy to come back. When we have a big announcement, I'll come back.
You got to come back.
But in the meantime, you know what? Actually, I wanted to tell one quick story. Nina Hughes and Ebony Bridges, they got into a bunch of stuff because Nina felt like, I guess she looked down at the fact Ebony was actually getting fights, and she felt it was causing the OnlyFans. By the way, if you're a woman, I don't give a fuck what you need to do. If you're entitled to do what you want to do, and if it helps you get televised and it helps you get a place to display your talent that you're passionate about, and I know that Ebony's a passionate fighter. Ebony has always fought like a warrior. And, I have tremendous respect for Ebony Bridges, by the way, like tremendous. Like, she's a real fighter. Is she a great fighter? No, she ain't Amanda Serrano. She never would be, right? But that girl, that girl goes in the ring. She throws down, and anything she does outside of the ring that can get her a brand and make her money, God bless her. Like, who the fuck is anyone to judge anybody else?
Yeah, but you know what? I just want to say one thing though. I bet she know who Chicken is now though, because she was trying to act like she didn't know. I bet she is now.
I'll tell you what too. I actually think I had talked to Ebony about this, about this series, and she's not. She has stuff going on right now that she couldn't fight this fall anyway. But I want to tell you something. I don't think she's wrong about waiting until the market settles
to see what happens.
Well, cool. waiting for people to start getting paid appropriately. I mean, look, say what you will about her. She's got one of the biggest names in female boxing. Is you lose your belt? You're supposed to, if they're gonna still keep you on television.
Yeah,
aren't you supposed to still get paid? How many fights did Arturo Gatti lose? And I'm not talking about against De La Hoya, like Manfredi and other guys. How many fights did he lose and still get another opportunity to show it? Because he's a blood and guts warrior. Like, I don't know. Women, if you're able to build a following, you deserve to be seen.
I agree.
And there are women that are not fighting, that are don't have promoters, that are sitting out there that do more to build their personal brands than most of the male fighters who would be paid way more than that.
Absolutely. If she's selling socks online, we support it because
my thing with her was like, that's why I feel like she should have engaged with Chicken, because you start to build up another rivalry.
All right, but you know what? I got to be honest with you.
And then you lost your belt, and now nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, but I know I shouldn't engage with Chicken if you want to know the truth. And it's not downing Chicken. It's the truth of all these. Everybody's looking to someone that can help them, or when their name is put with that other name, actually get a bag. And with all due respect, like Chicken had a hustle to get fights done, fight for fucking nothing.
Sure, fucking did.
I'm gonna ride for Chicken. I didn't like her attitude.
No, I get what you're saying, but
I'm not changing it. Sorry.
If you ride with Chicken, here's what you know. You know that there were a lot of nights that Chicken went out there and sold most of the tickets in the room.
She sure did.
Still didn't take home shit, but just got a win on her record.
That's true. That's true.
Right? I mean, like women like Chicken that are still in this racket, and I put a lot of the women in the tournament from Mio is the same thing. Nina Hughes is the same thing. They're both like none of them. There's a lot of women in the Shannon Courtney. Say what you will about Shannon Courtney. Like she helped build stuff in England. She was one of those people in the beginning of the pandemic that built something. The women in this tournament have paid their dues in women's boxing.
And that's the point. So yes, we ride with Chicken because she fought for nothing, went out and sold tickets. She's a single mom, has a son with autism, and we ride. All these girls have a story. I don't know all their stories. I know some of them, and they're fascinating. And these,
but then Owen should be doing a boxing series including giving the
Absolutely.
backstories to the ladies in the series, explaining who they are beyond boxing and why
Exactly.
they do this, even though the sport hasn't been so great to them.
At
Right?
all.
Like, you want to talk about reality programming
That's a
and
reality show.
relatable programming? Boxing, the idea of fighting for what you want in life, fighting for your autistic kid, fighting
Yeah.
for your as a single mom, so your daughter sees you not as a victim, but
Yes.
someone who is a champion, right? You talk about these stories. Who's telling them? No one.
Right. Right. Well,
And by the way, I don't want to get into shit, but here, this is for another time. It's a topic for its own show. Did women get pimped during the pandemic? Because it seemed like it was all women's boxing on the rocket ship up. Let's do as many women fights as we can.
you're right.
And whatever. And when all of a sudden there wasn't the pool of people available to fight or whatever, it became real attractive to do a lot of women's boxing.
You're
But right now, the marketplace changes a little bit, right? And different people are putting up the money, and shit changes a little bit, and you see how many people are off the women's boxing train right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know what? We're gonna keep pushing it. We support you. We support what you're doing. We're gonna highlight these women. You know, our next few shows, we're gonna really push it.
I appreciate you, ladies. It was great doing most of the talking. I apologize for not letting this be. I apologize for not letting this be a conversation and for ranting and raving. But thank you for the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you.
And thanks to Emily.
Thanks,
take
Emily.
care.
Hooking it up.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Let me change this back to 3. Hold on.
You know, no, that was great. That was great. And you know, ladies, you know, he's our guest, so he's supposed to be the one talking. So it's cool.
No, he got all the questions that we had. He
did. He covered them all, which is great.
So, yeah.
It's great. But everybody in the chat, we need to push this. Ladies, we're gonna push it. Like, that's what we do.
We need this tournament. I love tournaments, so I'm so happy that
tournaments too
for women. You know, I want this out because I love. That's why I love the show, The Contender. It was like a tournament style show. Like, I love tournaments, so this needs to happen, and it needs to happen like now. So hopefully,
absolutely,
once he's shopping around, somebody, you know, pays for the bag.
So we're gonna cut up this video and put pieces together and tag people, and we're gonna push this. We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. I saw that Clarissa had tagged, as Crystal says, Uncle Turkey, and said, "Hey, you know, put women on," and he thumbs up it, whatever. So you know.
So maybe she's the one fight that's gonna be, because somebody in the chat said that there's gonna be a women's fight on a card.
It's already on there. It's like a Sky Nicholson.
Yeah, it's Sky Nicholson.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
It's already scheduled.
But you see how they kind of like, they work their way around now fighting Tierra and things, right?
Oh yeah, but you know what?
Throw that out there. Just want to throw that out there. So yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get it though.
That was a Hetty. I said a Hetty. I was about to say Eddie Hearn. That's an Eddie Hearn special where he got Sky to go around. Tierra.
Thank you, Emily.
Card. Yes,
thank you, Emily. We love you. You're awesome. You're fucking badass that people don't know about. Oh my gosh, girl. Another badass woman.
She is a silent killer. Let me just dwell a little bit more on Emily, because Emily is a fucking comedian. People do not know Emily personally.
I don't know that yet. I want to see it.
Because she's actually.
I know she's a badass
on social media, but she is one of the funniest women I know. So yeah, follow her on Twitter. I don't think she's under Emily Pandalakis. Pandalakis.
Oh yeah, on Twitter she's funny.
Ooh, sorry, Emily. I tried to screw your last name up. I'm so sorry. But yeah, y'all.
No, we appreciate you so much. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So let's Sky is fighting on the turkey card. Yes. So let's push this, guys. Let's push it.
Scrapping Saturdays. I like it too.
Yeah, it is. So let's sister scrapping Saturday. Okay.
No, no, Tierra will not be the opponent for Sky.
No, it's not Tierra. It's someone.
I was like that was a fight that should have been next, but it looks like that's not good. That's not the next fight. So yeah.
So let's go around. Last words. What
you got? You up there? Go.
So
Tell the people
thank
what
you to
you're doing.
everyone. Ah?
Yes,
Oh,
tell
okay.
everybody what you're freaking doing.
So I leave tomorrow and I will go to the Lafayette, Louisiana for the U.S. National Championships, a women's national
The
championship.
women's national
Yes.
champions.
So I think
Yes.
from the last I hear, we have from 150 to 180 female boxers who will be participating in the tournament in the Lafayette, and I expect it to be another great amateur tournament. So.
Yes, I do have jet lag, but I'm I'll be okay. No, that's fabulous. And so tell everybody, so you're tell everybody what you do, just for those that maybe tuning in for the first time.
Yeah, so I am just a USA boxing official. So
they're gonna say that, oh, you only getting interviews because you do a USA boxing official.
Yeah, you know what? USA boxing.
Hey.
Yes, she's badass. She's invited to all these tournaments, which is huge, very huge. Nika, last words, girl.
I want to thank the chat for tuning in. For the replay gang that comes in and watch the live after it's done. You always have great questions. We didn't really have to ask any questions this go around because Lou just
we didn't
run with
even
it.
have to be on the screen.
We didn't even do the bell.
We could have gave him the mic and that was it.
You have to be a bully when you interviewing in New Yorker. You have to be like jumping in, ready to go to ask a question. But he answered everything that we were planning to ask anyway. So, I've been chilling off of social media as much because y'all the politics and all that stuff on Twitter is driving me up the wall, and I have a short temper. It's a lot of trolls. Y'all get on my y'all work my last nerve. So I want to stop portraying to be such a mean person when I'm just like, defending myself. I could post something about boxing and somebody shut the fuck up, bitch. And then I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm gonna cuss you out and then I'm gonna block you. But I gotta get mine in too.
Right.
Thanks for everybody tuning in. We're so glad that Christine is back in the States safe. She was waking up at 3:00 in the morning doing these lives when she was there in Paris. Oh my God, y'all would not have seen me. Y'all would not have seen me alive at 3:00 in the morning. But she's very dedicated, so I love that about her. So yeah, see y'all next week, and we gotta push this damn
see y'all next week
tournament. Okay,
we gotta push it, y'all. We gotta push it, y'all. We depend on y'all so much. To my ladies, I thank y'all so much. I missed y'all. I love y'all. Thank you. And to the chat, we have the best chat. I always say we have the best chat ever, like in the world. Like we have the best chat. So we're gonna have some.
What I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. See, somebody knows what I'm talking about. When I says we don't work for U.S. boxing because they try to like.
Ay, hombre. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know where you like. I get it, and I love it. Thank you. But somebody said, when are we going to see y'all? Try to see y'all at a fight together. Thank you so much, Boxing Power Pound Jack. But so that's coming up now. So you're gonna see us. We're gonna talk. We're gonna see what fights we go into and everything. So whenever we pull up, don't be surprised. Come say hi, because we definitely going to be doing that soon.
And keep it cute.
Keep it cute. Absolutely. So thank y'all so much. Love to love y'all. We're going to see y'all next week. We're going to have some great guests coming up in the very near future, in the far future, because there's a bunch of stuff going on. So we love to love you. And until next Wednesday, we'll see ya.
Oh, wait. I want to read the three super chats that we got there. We didn't get to. I didn't really get to read them when Lou was saying. So
Nando, yes. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yes, Nando sent one in. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nando.
Mark Nash TV, always supporting. Please match my donation to support the show. Keep up the good work, ladies. I'm so proud of you all. Thank you so much. J Pitt City, we want this to happen. Salute to the ladies, Lou, and the chat. Thank you so much. Yes, we want this. We want the.
Yes, thank y'all so much. Y'all are awesome.
All right, so yeah, have a good night.
Oh, we have a new supporter. Thank you, Hutchman, 1984. Appreciate you so much. Thank you all. We love to love you. Like we said, we'll see you on next Wednesday. And you'll see us on Twitter and everywhere else on our own, social media.
Keep it cute.
Keep it cute.